Michael Kleiner there from the Likud party. Well, I'm joined now by Amir Avivi, who is a retired Israeli Brigadier General with the Israeli Defence Forces and founder and chairman of Israel's Defence and Security Forum. Thank you for being with us. Just to pick up some of those points, we heard that after this Security Cabinet meeting that the head of the military expressed his opposition to Mr. Netanyahu's plan on the grounds of endangering the hostages, endangering Israeli military soldiers too.
Well, I know very well the Chief of Staff. He's a good friend. The Chief of Staff presented different plans. Each plan has an advantage and disadvantage. The idea the Chief of Staff presented was surrounding the remaining 25% that haven't been taken over by the IDF and creating a war of attrition, a war that might take years. And it's not clear if this approach will bring back the hostages or really bring defeat to Hamas. Other options that were discussed is take over everything and apply military occupation over the whole Gaza Strip and the society, and this was rejected also. So the idea that the cabinet embraced is really going after the center of gravity of Hamas, which is Gaza City. This is also where the last remaining leader of Hamas, Azzadin al-Haddad, is staying. These are where the main forces are. This is the center of government. Understanding that if Gaza falls, there is a good chance that the end of the war will come, and we'll see also the release of the hostages.
What are the military difficulties of such an operation? How would it work?
Okay, first we have to remember that the army took over 75%. The army met with many challenges. All of Gaza is dug underground. You have tunnels that are like buildings underground. They're really, really deep tunnels with different stores. Thousands of terrorists inside these tunnels. So it's not just fighting on the ground or dealing with the fact that you have also high buildings. It's really dealing with underground infrastructure, which is very, very complicated. And this really, really slows the operation because at the end of the day, you cannot maneuver fast on the ground because then you meet terrorists behind you popping from different tunnels. So it requires to really do the operation very carefully, very slowly, take over a small area and then clear it, find all the tunnels. And when you try to find the entrances, they are usually booby-trapped. The houses are booby-trapped. We lost many, many soldiers in these attempts to really reach the entrances of the tunnels because they booby-trapped the area. It's a very, very, very complex kind of warfare.
And if the Palestinian civilian population isn't willing to leave and is still there, isn't there a huge risk to their life and safety?
Well, the basic idea says let's really encourage the Gazans to move to the humanitarian zone. Israel created the humanitarian zone pretty much from the beginning of the war in the Mawasi area and some of the areas of the central camps. Israel is now really enhancing dramatically the amount of humanitarian aid and locations where they can get humanitarian aid from 4 areas of distribution to 16 areas of distribution, also building field hospitals and so on. So on one hand, Israel is really looking at how to safeguard and really bring the best humanitarian aid in the humanitarian zone where Israel encourages the Gazans to go out of the war zone.
Can I just ask you as well, sorry, we don't have too much time, but you will know that the families of the hostages, many of them have said they believe that this operation is going to risk their loved ones, about 20 of whom are still believed to be alive. What do you say to that?
Well, there are different groups of families of hostages. Some families want Israel to take over completely the Gaza Strip and believe that if Israel destroys Hamas, this is the fastest way to get the hostages. Other families are afraid of that. They want a deal. I think sincerely that Israel really, really, really wanted a deal. The assumption was that once we defeat Iran and also take over 75% of Gaza, the terms for a hostage deal will be created, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen because one reason is this global campaign of so-called starvation that created a reality that Hamas feels that maybe, Israel will be stopped, so they don't want to release hostages. It doesn't happen because...
But you say it's a campaign. You say it's a campaign, but even President Trump said that we saw him speaking live, saying that you can't fake those pictures of children looking hungry, starving.
We know today that actually those pictures were fake. They put pictures
but
not
all of them.
One of them in Italy, the other one, has an illness. So at least the pictures that were posted were fake. So we have to take in consideration that there is a lot of fake news around this issue.
There might have been some false images, but Donald Trump, who's a huge supporter of Israel,
he didn't accuse Israel of starving the Gazans.
No, but he said that there were pictures of hungry children. And that
so I want to say something. We have to remember that it doesn't matter how much food Israel brings into these humanitarian zones. The humanitarian zones are controlled by Hamas. The way this food is distributed is Hamas. It's not Israel. Israel is bringing the food. They distribute it. And if they take this food and if they are unwilling to give it to certain groups, this is Hamas. So we need to know who to blame.
Can I just ask you, just to move on to where Israel is heading with this strategy? How long do you believe, for example, that this initial operation would last in Gaza City? And do you also believe that Arab states would be willing to be handed control of the Gaza Strip eventually?
I think the operation in Gaza will take a few months, at least the stage of taking over the whole city. Then clearing it might take much longer. Looking at, the day after in Gaza, there is a clear vision. The day after, there will be no Hamas, no Palestinian Islamic Jihad, no Palestinian Authority that is also a terror organization devoted to the destruction of Israel. There will be a different leadership based on the local clans, based on working with Arab partners. It will be part of the Abraham Accords. After this war, there will be peace agreements, and there will be a Western Israeli moderate Sunni alliance in the region. Gazans won't be locked anymore. People who will want to relocate will have the chance also to do so. If they want to, nobody's going to force anybody to leave Gaza. They deserve a different future. And this war could have ended a year and a half ago. All Hamas needs to do, lay down your weapons, get out of Gaza, and give us back the hostages. We have said that from the 7th of October, 2023.
Okay. Amir Avivi, retired IDF Brigadier General with the Israeli forces. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
My pleasure.